Shokamoha bhayadayah karma bandhasya yanmulaha svikuryat ko nutadbudaha kamamanyur mado lobhaha shokamoha bhayadayah karma bandhasya yanmulaha svikuryat kono tadbudaha. Okay. Mothers, Kamaha, lust, Manyu, anger, Madaha, pride, Lobhaha, greed, Shoka, lamentation, Moha, illusion, Bhaya, fear, Adaya, all these together, Karma bandhaha, bondage of fruitive activities, Cha and Yat Mulaha, the origin of which Svikuryat would accept. Ka, who, no, indeed, that mind. Buddha, if one is learned. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The mind is the root cause of lust. That is just the beginning of the list. Anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion, and fear. Combined, these constitute bondage to fruitive activity. What learned man would put faith in the mind? Is a question. Meaning only fool would trust the mind. in other words. Purport. The mind is the original cause of material bondage. It is followed by many enemies such as anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion, and fear. The best way to control the mind is to engage it always in Krishna consciousness. Savai manaha Krishna padaravindayoho. Since the followers of the mind bring about material bondage, we should be very careful not to trust the mind. End of the purport. Kamo manyurmado lobhaha shokamoha bhayadayaha karma bandhasya yanmulaha swikuryat ko nutadbudaha. Translation again. The mind is the root cause of lust, anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion, and fear. Combined, these constitute bondage to fruitive activity. What learned man would put faith in the mind? Sri Gauranath Ki. And, well, mind has been compared with Punchali in the previous verse, unchaste woman, and cannot be also trusted, that one woman, unchaste woman. And that woman could cause the death of her husband. That's the previous statement. And what else? All learned scholars have given their opinion in the previous verse. Yes. The mind is by nature very restless. And one should not make friends with it, with a restless mind. One should not make friendship. Well, one could make the mind friend and then trust that mind. So, mind is the topic, I suppose. Mind is under consideration here. One should know mind. One should study mind. What is mind, how it acts, and Uddharet atmano atmanam, natmanam avasadayet, Krishna said. And Krishna talked a lot about this mind stuff called mind, or the element called mind, over again and again and again throughout Vedic texts. Mind becomes the topic. Mind is topic as Krishna and Arjuna are having a dialogue in Kurukshetra. Haribo. When we sleep, there's some mind connection. We cannot be mindless. Don't mind. Disturbance. To those who are peacefully participating in the Bhagavatam. The mind, opinion of learned mentioned in the previous verse, mind is restless. Arjuna also has complained. Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna pramati balabhadridam. You were asking me to control the mind, Bo. Well, but how could I do it? Chanchalam hi manaha Krishna. Mind is very restless. Is that your experience also? Mind is mind. Is Arjuna's mind, my mind, your mind, wherever mind has to be restless. If it is not restless, it is not mind. Manaiva manushanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Very major role this mind has, or it plays in our lives. Manaiva, mind is the one. Manaiva manushyana, karanam, the cause of bandha mokshayo. The cause of bondage could be mind. And the cause of liberation also could be the mind. Mind is always busy, mind is always busy. In sankalp and vikalp, these two things mind is always doing, day and night. Sankalp, vikalp. Accepting something, rejecting something. Acceptance and rejection, acceptance and rejection. This goes on all the time, day and night. So one has to watch the mind, control the mind. Yeah, when once asked how to control the mind, Prabhupada said, don't listen to the mind. How to control? Don't listen to the mind. Don't listen to that mind which has anti-devotional ideas. Do not listen to that mind. Mind is busy. We just said acceptance, rejection. And talking further, the function of the mind, thinking. What does mind do? Thinking, feeling, and willing. Think. Well, as soon as we We look around. We come in contact with different objects of senses, and we think. As soon as there's an object to see, immediately that makes us think. As soon as we hear, that makes us think. As soon as we smell, and we think. And like that, as soon as we touch, immediately reporting is done. Manaha shashthani indriyani. All the senses are their contact point, reporting point is the mind. Manaha shashthani indriyani. Yeah, so as soon as there's a sense perception, immediately the mind thinks different things. Different persons will think differently also. Haribol. Yeah, according to each person is individual and would think differently, depending on whether that person is mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Sato, tamo, rajo, bhavaha. It says different bhavas, different emotions, different feeling. Thinking, feeling comes into being according to the mode that we are governed with. Okay, I wasn't thinking, but let's. There's a woman. Child looks at it and he's reminded of mother. He may think, my mother. If he's looking for a mother, he would think, it's my mother. But if some young lusty man is looking at the same person, he has full of rajogun, the passion, kamat krodho bhijayate. No, not before that. Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. Rajoguna samudbhavaha. Raja, passion, gives birth to what? Kama esha, krodha esha. So there is a person with a passion, his lusty desires would be aroused. Okay, if the person is a thief, the woman is wearing lots of ornaments, what is he going to think of? Stealing them. Okay, tiger looks at a woman. What is he going to think? I am hungry. Or person is musical minded. This woman is very beautiful singer. He may be attracted by her singing. So person is one, object is one, but they're different. Different perceptions, different feelings, right? According to different modes governing that person. So thinking, one thinks, and then there's a feeling is aroused. Feeling, and then that feeling results in will, the desire. Thinking, feeling, willing. And when there is will, where there is will, what happens? There is way. Then the action begins, the planning begins. Of course, planning is made by the intelligence. Indriyani mano buddhir adhisthana muchyate. Lord Krishna, in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, as one contemplates on objects of senses, and that results in calm, kamesha, krodesha. And where is this calm sitting? In 3 places where this calm is described. Vidhyenam hivairinam, this is your number 1 enemy. The lust is your number 1 enemy, O Arjun. You have pen and pencil? Please take note. Krishna says, Vidhyenam. One should know. One should take note. Vidhyenam hivairinam, this is your number 1 enemy. And then, anyway, Krishna, please read this towards the end of the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is, well, of course, must be wonderfully explained, or in very, very detailed explanation of what happens. Who is enemy and where is this enemy sitting? Indriyani mano buddhir. In the senses, in the mind, and in intelligence. So mind is in the middle. The lust in the mind that has been aroused by sense perception, seeing the senses coming in contact with this, sense objects, and then senses are in touch with sense. Sense objects are in contact with senses, and then the mind, and then the intelligence. So the lust in the mind, well, it infiltrates, it goes all the way to the intelligence, and it is in the senses also. But it won't work. Okay, we are talking about different. So as soon as the mind has a will, thinking, feeling, willing, and then there's a way. Who finds the way? The intelligence makes all the arrangements. Intelligence comes with all the strategy. So that lusty intelligence that is influenced by this lusty mind, will not be able to keep an eye on this mind, watch the mind, control the mind. And for that, we'll have to Dadami buddhi yogam tam ena mam upayanti te. Krishna says that I will give intelligence. And he doesn't just distribute intelligence to anybody and everybody like a free cookies, free biscuits. Who gets the intelligence? Esham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Those who are engaged, or those who wish to engage in service of the Lord, satata yuktanam, constantly they want to engage, they are engaged, they want to keep engaged. Satata yuktana bhajatam priti purvakam, with devotion they want to engage in service of the Lord. To them Lord gives intelligence. Haribo. So that intelligence that we have is already contaminated, influence, is full of lusty intelligence, is a partner, neighbor of mind and partner also. Mind, it could collaborate with mind and come up with all the strategy for sense gratification. So mind, intelligence, false ego, they cooperate with each other like that. But to stop this nonsense, we need intelligence. Yeah, there is talk. Svikuryat ko nutad buddha. Buddha means intelligent person, learned person. Prabhupada is translating. What learned man would put faith in the mind? What intelligent person would put faith in such a mind? The lusty mind, contaminated mind, impure mind. One would require to be intelligent. And that intelligence comes from the Lord. And then that person, dadami buddhi yogam, ena mam upayanti te, ena mam upayanti. That person will utilize that intelligence to come to me, not to me, to the Lord. Mam upayanti, mam unto me, upa near, yanti goes. That person goes near the Lord. Haribo. Good idea? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. You had some night duty last night, or? Gauranga. So, mind has to be controlled. Don't listen to the mind. That mind says, sleep. Jiv jago. Jiv jago. Jiv jago means, of course, not body jago. Soul. Wake up, sleeping soul. Wake up, what? Sleeping soul. Wake up, sleeping soul. That's the goal. The soul. Bhajiba boliya aise samsara bhitare bholiya rahile tumi avidyar bhare. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Bhajiba, oh, I will worship. He promised in the womb. This is Lord Kapil Dev is talking about that. In the womb, when you were being tortured, help. And then you approach the Lord and says, Bhajiba Baliya. You said, I will worship samsara bhitare. And then you came into this world. But then, unfortunately, bhuliya rahile. You have forgotten. Bhuliya rahile tumi. Avidyara bhare. Filled with ignorance. Covered with ignorance. You forgot. Samsara bhitare. So Lord has come. Tuma bina ke bandhu ache. Who else? My friend, you are my friend, O Gauranga, you are my friend. Who else is my friend? So that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is talking. And Lord has come with the holy name. And please beg for that holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So going back to the mind, or going back. So the mind, as mind remains busy with doing this, doing that, we finish doing this or that, the activity is finished. What remains behind is the impressions, these feelings, this vasana, the desire, which is technically also known as karma bij. Karma bandhasya yanmulaha. This is also talked here. Karma bandhasya yanmulaha. We are bound again. We perform activity and what remains behind is the vasana, the samskaras, in the form of a seed, bij. The karma bij could become karma bandhan for the future. And in due course of time, that bij sprouts, the seedling, tree, the branches, the leaves, flowers, and then there's a fruit. Sometimes sweet fruit, sometimes bitter fruits, and like that, the life goes on and on and on and on, perpetuation. We perform activity, activity is temporary. Karma of the 5 items described in Bhagavad Gita, the karma is temporary. Ishwar, Atma, Kal, and what is that? Prakriti are eternal. The karma is temporary. We perform karma, karma is over. Leaving behind the karma bij, and that bij, in due course of time, sprouts. The fruit and the cause and effect. The cause and effect, karya karan, goes on. Activity we perform, that becomes the cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. This goes on, this is called round and round. The living entity is wandering throughout this material world. But one has to put full stop to this bondage. So when there is a desire, when there's a desire for liberation, that's the beginning of the end of the bondage. One of the Upanishads says, your bondage comes to an end, or the end begins, ending gradually, begins when there's a desire for liberation. Once there's a desire, and that desire is another kind of will. And then you find the way. Thinking, feeling, willing. If there's a will for liberation, then you'll find the way. And that way has been shown. So living entity cannot be free from desire. Living entity cannot be desireless. Haribol. This is going off. We are living entity. We are what kind of entity? We are living entity. We are not a dead entity. We are not a stone. We are not a rock. Rock has no desire. As soon as you are living entity, desire must be there. And then there are two kinds of desires. Desire, both are. Atmendriya, Krishnendriya Priti, Ichhatar Dhare Prem Naam. We have desire to satisfy the senses of the Lord, satisfy the Lord. And that desire is called, what is it called? It is called Prem. Prem. And Atmendriya Priti Vancha Dhare, Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tarbale Kam. That is called calm. When you desire to satisfy our own senses, that is calm. And desire to satisfy the senses of the Lord, that is prem. So there are two kinds of desires, broadly speaking. One is calm, one is prem. One is love and one is lust. So how to transform this lust into love? That is the whole Krishna consciousness is all about. How to transform. We cannot become desireless. So how to transform our mundane, contaminated, lusty desires into love. Love for the Lord. This verse is talking of different enemies, different causes of bondage, karma, bandha, kandan. There's a calm, beginning with calm. Anadi bahirmukh, bhoga vancha kare. Nikatastha maya tare, Japadiya dhare. This is the beginning of our material existence, material life. We turned away from Krishna, back towards Krishna, then bhoga vancha, desire to enjoy bhog, and immediately Maya captured Japadiya dhare. Bhogavancha, with a calm. And then kamat krodho vijayate. When the calm is not satisfied, what happens? Kamat krodho vijayate. There is anger. When desires are not fulfilled, we become angry, we become frustrated. But if the desires are fulfilled, then what happens? From that kamat, lobho jayate. From that calm, from that lust, the greed is developed. One becomes greedy. Wants to go for it. And then one gathers, accumulates wealth, accumulates opulence, objects of senses. And calm, krodh, lobh, then what happens? Mad. One becomes intoxicated as he enjoys all those objects of senses. With his greedy nature, he has gathered, accumulated. Consumption of all that becomes intoxication. Mad, becomes mad or intoxicated. And then there's a moha, the illusion, more illusion. The bodily concept of life becomes stronger. That is moha, maya, moha. And then what happens? The sixth enemy is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mad, Matsarya. One becomes envious. One becomes envious of others around. Matsarya. So you could see how from Kam to Krodh to Lobh to Mad to Moha to Matsarya. From one enemy to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. Yeah, Prabhupada says the younger brother of lust is the eldest brother. The younger brother is, there are many brothers, there are 5 brothers. 5 big brothers, and there are many small brothers also. They are not even. Many of them. Besides these Shat Ripus, these 6 enemies of the living entity, the conditioned soul. There are so many minor enemies. Some of them Adaya, etc. are there. Some of them are listed here. We'll find list in Bhagavad Gita, other places, other kinds of enemies. So the whole thing is beginning with the Kam, Bhogavansha. And Bhogavansha is ending in suffering of the living entity. Sanatana Goswami, when he met Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ke in Banaras, and Sanatana had a good time with Lord for 2 months. They were talking. Arjuna also talked to Sri Krishna for 45 minutes. That turned into Bhagavad Gita, the song of God. Same God, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a long talk with Sanatana Goswami. 2 months they talked. And their talk began with a question. Arjuna also had some basic foundational questions. Sanatana Goswami also had a question. Ke ami? First question was, Ke ami? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Please tell me, who am I? Kene am I? Jare tapatroy. This was his next question. Kena, what is that causing the suffering of the living entity? Or I'm always suffering. What is the cause? What is it? Kene am I? Jare tapatroy. Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, these 3 kinds of miseries always troubling me. And well, answer to this question, we already said it earlier. Yeah. Anadi Bahirmukh. Jeev has become Bahirmukh. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said,